Hi, welcome to today's story verse. Today we are going to have a look at some books that teach us about our world. Our world is crazy cool. We have animals that have three hearts. Three hearts, yeah. We have trees that have a secret language and they can talk to each other. We have so much cool stuff in our world and it's up to us to look after it. So let's explore some books today. The book we're going to share today is one of the most important books, I think, about looking after our world. I think you might know it. You might know the movie. It's called The Lorax by Dr Seuss. Now, it's a long book, so sit down, have a look to your left, look to your right, make sure you're sitting in a smart spot, and get nice and comfy. The Lorax. At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing, excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? Why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows. The old Onceler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkin on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkin cold under the roof where he makes his own clothes out of muffed moof. And on special dank midnights in August he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks. Can you see him here? And tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great, great, great grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you've paid him away in his snuff, his secret strange hole in his groveller's glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper-my-phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. What are his secrets? Slop. Down slops the whisper-my-phone in your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he's had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding grey, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Oh, look at this, it's so pretty. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the ponds were still wet and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swammy swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffler trees, the bright coloured tufts of the truffler trees, mile after mile, in the fresh morning breeze. They look like fairy floss. And under the trees, I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffler fruits. That's fun to say, barbaloot. From the rippleless pond came a comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. Oh, I would want to stay here. This place is beautiful. But those truffler trees. All my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I've never smelled butterfly milk, but I imagine it smells lovely. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. What do you think he's going to do? Oh. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffler tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. He chopped down the tree, but it was so pretty. Who's appeared? The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What is that thing you've made out of my truffler tuft? Good question. What is it? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses. Yeah, far beyond that. You can use it for cupboards, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed. I think he must be right. I can't imagine anyone. The very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along. He thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. Look at the Barbaloots, they look a little bit shocked. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. Oh dear. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts and I said, listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. Oh no. Oh, what's happening? And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. They were knitting thneeds just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffler trees. Look at the Lorax. Oh. Then, oh baby, oh how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffler trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. Oh, I wonder where the Lorax has gone. Oh, here he is. What do you notice? Oh dear. Oh, this looks like a bit of a problem. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped. I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping down fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown Barbaloots who played in the shade in their Barbaloot suits and happily lived, eating truffler fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffler fruit to go round. And my poor Barbaloots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. Oh, poor Barbaloots. Oh no. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies in tummies, you know. What do you think? Do you think he should keep going? Oh dear. I meant no harm. I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factories, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads of needs I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. How much money do you think he needs? Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed, and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled, he snargled, he sniffed. Onceler, he cried, with a querulous croak. "Once you're making such smoggerless smoke. My poor swammy swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." Oh, look at the sky now. What do you notice? What do you notice about the ground? "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up round here." First the barbaloots, now the swans. "What's more," snapped the Lorax. His dander was up. "Let me say a few words about Gluppity-Glup. Your machine chugs on day and night without stop, making Gluppity-Glup, also Schloppity-Schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old onceler man, you." Oh no. Oh, what do you notice? "You're glumping up ponds where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Ah, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary." Fish. What do you think he's going to do? And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffler trees into needs, which everyone needs." Does everyone need needs? I'm not very sure. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack from outside. In the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffler tree of them all. Oh dear. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. It reminds me of Uno's garden, where everyone leaves the forest after they kind of ruin it. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad backwards glance, as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word: unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. But that was long, long ago. But each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. I got a noisy kookaburra. Can you hear him? But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffler seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffler seeds, and truffler trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffler, treat it with care, give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. What about you? Do you protect the trees? Are you like the Lorax, and do you speak for the trees? I hope you enjoyed our book today. I'll see you next time on Storyverse.